Hi everyone, this is Daisy Isamary and welcome to the Flower Power Podcast. This podcast is about following your dreams, and I'm here to help you solve problems in your daily lives to help you get a step closer to your goals. I'm here to introduce people that have decided to follow their dreams and find out what they are doing to become their own success. We will also be girl chatting away about topics that we deal with, such as friendships, relationships, and self-care, and so much more. Stay tuned to listen to Flower Power, which means peace and love. Let's find out what flower power is within you to change the world for the better. Hi, welcome to my first podcast, guys. I know a lot of people that actually know me are like, Daisy, why are you doing a podcast if you were going to do a YouTube videos and all this stuff? And yes, I'm still going to go back to YouTube, but I decided to start a podcast because podcasts are more for listening and more for a conversation. And that's what I want to focus more when it comes to this podcast. So this is the Flower Power Podcast. The reason that I decided to call it Flower Power is because my name is Daisy and I am a flower. Well, the name is a flower. And so I decided to use flower and then the power in me, the power in people, the power that you get to use to start your goals, create the life that you want. And that's what I wanted to bring for this podcast. But the first topic I wanted to talk about in this podcast is finding your passion, because that is one of the reasons why I started to do this podcast, because one of my passions is media and audio and playing music and also creating content for YouTube doing video. So it's so many things that I love to do, and that's why I want to bring this topic into this first episode, because I feel like it's very important to find your passion. And then when you find your passion, then from there, it leads to your career, your dream career and all that. Now, my number one passion is acting. And the reason it is acting is because I love being other characters. And since I was young, I always wanted to do that. But I've also had a love for filming. I've also had a love for equipment, which is really weird because when I was 12 years old, I wanted a video camera, and that's what I got for Christmas. So I've always been recording videos throughout my childhood. I have tons of home videos and all that. And I think that one of the reasons that I never started to do my own content and make it more of like a profession is because you get scared. You get scared to do what you love and you want to be able to do it for a living. And sometimes that's not the case. So I decided to just do what I love for fun and see where it takes me, see where I get to go. And also with acting, I was able to start a little career by doing little small commercials for local networks. I've been able to do like little commercials for lawyers and mostly in Spanish because I speak Spanish, but I've done a lot of commercials for insurance. So I'm very proud of what I've done as my acting career, because obviously there's still more to do and there's more opportunities to come. But I also wanted to have like a little side. Well, I wanted to have a plan B, which is media. And I'm planning on going back to school to get a degree in communications and maybe go from there, maybe work at a TV station, radio station, wherever it leads me. But acting is still one of my hobbies that I like to do. And if I get paid to do it, then it's even better. Of course, I still have my little side jobs because we all have to have that little hustle in between, especially as an actor. And I am a server. I also do a little brand ambassador work on the side because I decided to go follow my dreams and figure out what I'm going to do. Something that inspired me to start this podcast is knowing people that have followed their career as an actor, as a model, as a host. There's so many things and there's so many people that are just doing it. They're following their dreams however they can. And I'm very inspired by all those people that I know that have continued. Maybe they didn't go to school, but they actually went out for their passion. And I'm one of those people. I feel like I have this little community of people that I know. And that's another reason that I wanted to do this podcast, because I want to bring those people into this podcast so they could speak about what they're going through, what their side of the story is, and how they're growing their own success. Because I feel like it's very important to listen to other people's success stories, and they're not at the top of their game yet, but they're going to be one day. And that's where I see a lot of people, like, I know they're going to be what they want to be in the future, but it took so long to get there. There are so many celebrities that didn't become famous till they were 40 years old, and I'm barely 25, so there's still so much to look forward to. Everybody's story is different, definitely. So I'm excited to start this podcast, so maybe you guys can get inspired to follow your dreams and see that other people are struggling as well. Like, we want to show our highlights on Instagram, but there's sometimes like people don't know like who you are. Like, I know a lot of actors and I don't know what their side jobs are. Like, where do they get their income from? Like, I would like to know, because I get it from being a server, but what do they do to be able to have that money to continue their acting careers, or what are their struggles to try to get to their goals? So there's so many questions I have for so many people, even close people that I know, because sometimes we don't really ask those questions, and we will never know what their struggles are. So this would be the perfect time for me to be able to ask those questions, and we can learn more about them. So I posted on Instagram about the Flower Power podcast, and I asked you guys what your passions are. And I feel like a lot of you guys are a little bit shy to write down things, but don't be shy. I want to know what you guys have to say. That's why I post many of these posts, so I can know what your passions are and be able to continue talking about them and give you guys a little shout out on this podcast. And the one that actually did say something was Abigail Michelle. I hope I said your name right, because a lot of people think that my Instagram name is Daisy Isamary, which I heard from somebody, but it's actually Daisy Isamary. So I guess my biggest fear right now is saying the wrong names on here. So please forgive me if I don't say it correctly. So she says, so excited for you. I'm passionate about my charities. I'm running my third one for Team RMHC and serve on the board of Girls on the Run of NW Indiana. That is so awesome, girl. I know I do see your posts that you do run a lot. She is also an actor, a model, and her name is Abigail Michelle. She is a public figure on Instagram. If you guys want to go follow her, you could go right ahead. I don't think she minds. And as I could see in her page, she definitely has like headshots, model shots. She definitely has run some marathons. I wish I could show you guys, but this is a podcast, so all you could do is just listen. But yes, so girl, I cannot even run for more than 20 minutes without getting off the treadmill. Like, I can't do it, especially outside. I'm definitely better at running in a treadmill instead of outside. But girl, go do you. This is so great for you. I love it. I love the passion that you have for it, which is something that's awesome, right? Like, as an actor, you want to have that getaway thing that you don't want it to be just that. You want to be able to do other stuff. And running, I think, is very important because it's exercise. And exercise is also important for an actor to let all that steam out, all that stress that comes as an actor, because you basically have like a double life, dealing with your personal life and with your career. So I'm very proud of you. This is awesome. And I can't wait to hear of any other runs that you will do, because girl, that is awesome. Thank you so much again, Abigail, for leaving your comment. I really appreciate it. And I hope you do hear this podcast so you could hear your shout out. And if you guys want to hear your shout out in Flower Power, I totally recommend to just post your comments. And I want to hear what you guys have to say. If you have any questions, I'm actually going to be doing a golden episode. Every fourth episode, I will be doing Just Ask Daisy. So we will be doing that, and you guys can send in your questions. I will be keeping you updated on Instagram. But keep on flowing, keep on coming in. I will definitely want to hear what you guys want to say and hear. And if you guys want to be in my podcast as my co-host, you're more than welcome to. I know a lot of friends I'll be having here as my co-host, because I feel like it will get a little bit boring if I'm the only one just talking here. So I will be rotating co-hosts, and I'm also going to be interviewing people that I am inspired by and their careers, and I want you guys to hear their story. Well, thank you guys so much for listening to the Flower Power podcast. I'm excited for you guys to listen to the rest of the episodes. I'm definitely going to learn a lot from this. So if you could go on iTunes and rate this, leave a comment, talk about it on Instagram. My Instagram is @DaisyIsamarie, and I'm also going to start an Instagram for Flower Power podcast. So stay tuned, and thank you so much for listening. Bye.